Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the creditrepairshop.com, and in today's video, we're going to talk about a simple letter. This simple letter can get charge-offs removed off of your credit reports to never come back. This is not a gimmick. This is not a trick. This is not some pipe dream. This is not some type of a guess. This is not where it's going to be something that works today and not work tomorrow. This will work forever. And the reason why it's going to work forever is because this is exactly what the original creditor has actually done to the account. If you have a charge off on your account and the original creditor sold that account to a debt collector and they have not done what I'm about to tell you to have them do, then it is reporting inaccurate on your credit reports, which is against the Fair Credit Reporting Act. Now, I know that when it comes to you caring about your credit, you're watching my videos, you're watching other videos, and you're trying to determine, will this stuff work? Like your parents maybe didn't teach you about credit, or maybe you had a bad situation where you lost your job or you had a divorce, something happened that, or business failure, something happened in your life that made you get into a situation to where your finances were not working in your favor, and ultimately your credit, just is shot, for lack of a better word. Your credit, you have poor credit. You're trying to rebuild yourself because you want to have that confidence. You want to be able to move forward. You've learned from your past lessons, but it seems like things like this, having charge-offs sitting on your credit reports to where you could have even done something with the collection agency. Say you wanted to just move forward even faster, and you have this charge-off sitting on your credit reports working against you with the algorithm because that's sitting on there. Even if it was resolved, something that you just said, I don't care, I don't want to have to make the debt collector go through all of the things that they got to do to prove that I have to pay them for the debt, that you just want to move forward in your life, and you still have that issue with that charge-off or write-off showing on your credit reports. Well, I'm going to give you the solution, as a very easy, effective, non-evasive solution to be able to get rid of that charge-off on your credit reports. We do this all the time. This is something that I came up with, not from trying to just guess and see if things will work in a way that was, but it was logic behind it. So the logic behind it is that these, if you look at it this way, if an original creditor, so say you settled your account with an original creditor. It was a charged off debt. The original creditor decided to come after you, or you just wanted to resolve it before they decided to go to court and try to sue you. On there, if you notice this, if you've done this, or if you don't know about this, what they would put on your credit reports is that it was paid for less. They would not put that it was paid for less by you. The assumption is that it's paid for less by you. But if you look at the credit reporting, and this is something that when I scan through reports, and I'm always looking for things that could work in your favor with repairing your credit, with the way that things are showing on your credit reports, because there is a responsibility of all furnishers to make sure that information is accurate and not unfairly showing on your credit reports. That's something that is bypassed by a lot of people in a lot of credit reporting, a lot of credit repair companies, is that, yes, it is true that if information is unfairly showing what you've done with your credit, that information must be removed. And what I'm about to show you now is how you can get charge-offs that are sold to debt collectors removed off of your credit reports, or the status changed on there to paid for less. So the first thing that we got to do, got my trusty board here. The first thing that we want to do is we want to get the credit reports. We want to get our credit reports because that's where everything starts. And you need to get your credit reports from a reliable source that's going to show you all three and give you all of the data. So I can give you a website if you want to grab your credit reports real quick and pause the video. Go to www.your3scores.com. You'll get all 3 credit reports, all 3 scores, and more importantly, you're going to get some information I'm going to show later that's going to be very important on you being able to get documents to prove that that charge-off needs to either be removed or the status of it changed to pay for less. So now the next thing after you get your credit reports, because that's a step that you got to take. If you don't get that information, it's going to make it harder for you to be able to move forward. And just think about it. You might be saying, well, if I have to pay for reports, if it's, $20, $30 for my reports, I don't want to do that. Well, a lot of people don't want to do that. But if you look at the alternative, it's gonna cost you over time way more than $30. You could go get an auto loan, and they're gonna charge you a high interest rate. You're gonna pay more than $30 for that auto loan in additional interest than when you could get all of the information on your credit reports that's gonna be able to get that charge off removed or the status changed on that charge off and get you that lower interest rate, because that's what it's all about, is positioning yourself to be able to get into the position to be able to get things at a lower price, at a lower price. We all want the best things at the lowest price, but also to be able to get credit at the lowest price, and that works by using interest rates. And if you have good credit scores, no negative information on your credit reports, or everything is resolved on your credit reports. It doesn't have to be removed, but it needs to be resolved. You're going to be able to qualify for lower interest rates, and also the algorithm isn't going to work against you, because all of this is about the credit reporting algorithm. So now you get your credit reports, and then you're going to review. You want to look at the comment section to look at the status. It might say CO for charge off or write off or written off. It's going to say one of those two. You want to identify all of those. You want to see, number one, the first thing you need to make sure, if it was something that was sold, that there should be no balance on there. There should be no balance on there when it was sold. This is the whole part about them showing that unfair. How are they going to sell it to a debt collector, have it as a charge off, and then they're going to have a balance on there? This is all, what I'm showing you is going to correct all of that information. Either they're going to remove the charge off your credit reports, or they're going to update the status on there as paid for less. Now, the next thing you want to do is you want to get those original creditors, the furnishers. It's called, for everyone who places information on your credit reports. The companies who place that information on your credit reports, they are furnishers. They're furnishers of the information, furnishers of the data, furnishers of the charge-offs on your credit reports. Now, another big important benefit of getting the credit reports from the website that I send you to is that you're going to get all of the furnisher information. All of it, because it's going to be very important, because you want to know the address that they sent that from. Some of these companies, if it's a credit card company, they have different regions that they deal with. They're not just sending everything to one area. They have it in different regions. If you have that address, because that's the company address that put the information on your credit reports. Let me tell you a quick technique. I had a document, I forgot it on my desk in my office. But if you send a letter to that furnisher, because this is going to be part of the whole process where you can actually get the information removed. You send that information to the furnisher, and we see this a lot when it comes to these debt collection companies, but it could also potentially work in your favor for original creditors, but it's less likely for original creditors. But when you send that information to that furnisher address that was furnished on your credit reports, because they are stating that the information is either contained at that address or it was sent from that mailing address, that's what they're claiming on your credit reports. We have seen where information was sent to those addresses and it came back undeliverable. That is right there is showing that furnisher information, which is required. Every furnisher who furnishes information to the credit reporting agencies, you may not know this. I'm going to tell you something. They have to do a spot check. They have auditors or investigators or whoever, process people, come through to make sure that you are a legitimate business. They don't want people just opening up shop and placing information on credit reports and they're not a legitimate business. They want to make sure that you're actually in the business that you claim that you're in. Because when you're furnishing that information on people's credit reports, that stuff is required to be accurate, and they are the ones who are entrusted with making sure that that information is accurate. And part of that information being accurate is the address that that information is coming from, the office address. Because if anything is wrong, what do they tell you to do? And what are they supposed to do? They're supposed to mail it to that address or contact that furnisher. You have the right to also send information to that furnisher. And if it comes back undelivered, you would just package that up with a letter, make a copy of it, send that to the credit reporting agencies, and that information will be removed off your credit reports within 30 to 45 days. That we normally see that with debt collection companies. You don't normally see it with a original creditor because they, obviously they should be at that address. But we've seen this a lot with these debt collection companies because they'll set up shop in these different areas just to be compliant, and then they'll let that address expire. So you want to get that information because it's going to be very important, because part of this entire process is to actually go at the original creditor to make sure that they do their job with reporting that information accurately. So we want to have that furnisher address, and you're going to get that by getting full credit reports, not partial credit reports that some of these free companies offer. So you're reading in the comments, and in that comment section, it'll say sold, transferred, and it'll also, again, have that charge off or write off. That's important information, and you want to look and see what they have with that balance. That's going to be in one of the sections on there. What is that dollar amount for the balance? So that's all of the data that you want to get. The next step that you want to take with that collection agency, you're going to request of them to send you the bill of sale. Now, let me ask you this question. How many debt collection letters have you received? And how many of those debt collection letters, even if you did a debt validation, have ever gave you the bill of sale? The reason why they don't want to give you that bill of sale is because there could be a lot of problems within that bill of sale. In this bill of sale that I was reading, this bill of sale here was totally incomplete. They actually had a date that was going back for the master purchase and sale agreement. And this one here was dated in 2020, but they actually sold the debt March 17, 2022. So if you have a master sale agreement and the debt was sold in 2020, they had an addendum August of 2021, and then this debt that was sold with this individual's information in it was sold in March of 2022. So how could this individual who had to charge off after that date be in the master sale of the portfolio in 2021, well, really 2020, and then an addendum in 2021, but their charge off was after that date? But let's just say that all their ducks are in a row. It doesn't matter, because this will be later if they try to sue you in court. Let's just say that all their ducks in a row. What you want is you want this document. You want this bill of sale document, because that bill of sale document is going to do something that's going to get the status either changed, or it's going to get that charge off totally removed off your credit reports. Because what the original creditor has done is they've sold the debt, and they have taken money for that debt. And it doesn't matter if you pay it for less, your cousin pays it for you and pays it for less. They don't put on there, his cousin, it was paid for less, but his cousin paid it for less. Or he paid it for less, so we're going to put on there, he paid it for less. No, they just put on there, settled for less. That's all they put. So if they put settled for less on there, or if they even put, let's just say that it was purchased and transferred to another company, that the balance, like say that you had a mortgage or something and it was paid off and then transferred. Do they put on there that it was done by you or that it was done by another company? They don't put that information on there. They just say that it was paid and transferred. That's what I'm saying. That's what I want you to pay attention to. This is something that when I was reviewing documents, you know, real quick, I've dedicated my life. If we could say I'm approaching with the Credit Repair Shop 20 years of service of helping people repair their credit, increase their scores, and lower their debt. And I can say that I've literally seen thousands of credit reports. And it is amazing to me that when I just open my mind up of the possibilities on how the Fair Credit Reporting Act works, that there are certain things in there where the reporting, even on stuff that is reported positive, is not even 100% accurately reporting. Like there's a whole bunch of things, but stuff like this can really, really, truly make a difference in your life if you could just get that information removed. And this is not some type of gimmick. This is not a gimmick. This is all about accurate reporting. So if we review, we get our credit reports. We want to make sure that we get all 3 credit reports. We want the furnisher information. We need all of that information because it's important to get that information, because if you don't have that information, it's going to cost you later. You might be saying, well, it's going to cost me now. It's going to cost you later if you don't do it. It's going to cost you for years. Like, don't let a small amount of money, or even if it's a large investment in your future, stop you from being able to benefit in the future. Because the algorithm, no matter what, as long as you have those charge-offs sitting on there, it's going to read against you, and you're going to be, for every loan that you get, for every credit card that you get, for everything that you get, you're going to pay more for it. The same things that people with good credit pay less for, you're going to just be paying more for. You might as well jump in line, and they have $100 out and you have to pull out $200, and you're buying the same thing that they're buying. That's really what is happening on a daily basis with people who continue to go out there day to day with bad credit. And it does not matter how long it takes to repair your credit. What matters is that you get started repairing your credit, because once you're on the other side, you're going to be able to enjoy everything. Once you're on the other side, it pays for all of the time and all of the money that you had to put into getting to that other side. All right, so you get your credit reports. You get the furnisher information. You read the comments. You want to see that balance. You want to see sold transferred. And then you're going to have received, or you're going to have to make a phone call if you haven't gotten any information from the debt collector yet, which that could be slow. I just read you with this bill of sale. That information could come to you slow. So you get with the original creditor. Who did you sell it to? You need to get me the information, because this is not showing accurately on my credit reports. If they don't get you that information, then what you could do is you could just submit to them that they've sold the debt and that they either need to remove it because it's not showing accurately, or they need to show that it was paid for less, settled for less, because they took a payment from a debt collector. But if you had that bill of sale, then you would package that up and you would submit that directly to the furnisher address, that original creditor's furnisher address, and you want to have them send that up to either their legal department or their credit department, whoever. But that address should get it to that department, because that's the department who was tasked with putting that information on your credit reports, or that was the department's address of where that verification for the furnisher's address from the credit reporting agencies was done. So you submit that up to them. In your letter, you're going to submit that you want them to either remove it or update it as paid for less. Your proof would be, if you have the bill of sale document, that would be your proof. because they did take that. Now, from us, the way that we designed the letter, they don't come back. They just have really just been removing it. I'm going to get with my staff and do a video later about how many of them have we seen where they changed the status. What we've been seeing is that they just choose to remove the charge off or the write off of your credit reports because it just does not make any sense to just have that sitting on there when they have taken payment for it. And you, especially if you had that bill of sale proof, that bill of sale, this is what you want. See that? You want that bill of sale proof. Like, think about it. The logic behind it. You have the charge off, the write off, furnisher, original creditor. They put that information in your comment section. They are not reporting the information accurately. You have proof that they're not reporting it accurately. And now the ball's in their court on what they're going to do. Now, it may take some back and forth. They may send some information back saying that it is being reported accurately. All you have to do is to just push hard to get this bill of sale, because normally when they have that bill of sale, they just be like, "It's take it off of there. Just take it off of there." Hey, thank you for your time. If you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process and my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to the website yourthenumber3scores.com to grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports and all 3 scores. If you have debt collectors coming after you early in the game, grab my statute of limitations letter to stop debt that is past the legal statute of limitations to collect. Grab my debt validation letter and my cease and desist collection activities letter. Use the one that's appropriate for your situation. Thank you for your time. This is Stephen A. Williams, president and founder of the Credit Repair Shop. Like this video, share this video.